Hello, welcome my soul tribe. We're looking into what do they fear, masculine edition, and then we'll also do feminine edition. So what's interesting here, and remember to receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Whether you're watching this as a feminine or a masculine, there's no judgment here. This is meant to shine the light and to bring about clarity, awareness, and empowerment, and also that none of us are perfect. We all have our insecurities, right? So there may be an extended. If that's the case, I will let you know, and it will be available in the link below for the extended videos only membership for my Patreon. Now, if you're a Bloom member already, then you already have access to this extended. If there's going to be an extended video, you have access to all the extended videos. So before we get in, remember, receive what aligns, release what doesn't, okay? Never give your power away to a reading or an outcome. Remember, you're a powerful creator. You shift and change your timeline with your free will choice. And that's what we're reading here is timelines. So starting out, we have the King of Pentacles. And clarifying that is the Eight of Cups. Now in this Eight of Cups, this woman is with child, okay? So there's a few messages coming through here, and we have kings. And so if you're watching this as a masculine right now, kings have insecurities. Everybody has insecurities, right? A lot of people just try to hide them, put on a brave face. So with the King of Pentacles energy, you could be dealing with an earth sign. You could be an earth sign. Don't have to be. There's the fear of, for some of you, fatherhood, or there's the fear of commitment, okay? And I feel like that's reaching into not being enough, right? Not being good enough, not having enough. There's that sort of insecurity coming forward here. There's also the fear of, if I don't step up, will my person move away from me and start a family elsewhere, right? So there could be a difference in values here that this person is concerned about. Okay, that's possible. Or just the fear of disappointing, okay, being disappointing. Now, this could be multiple masculine energies, or this could be one masculine, because we also have the King of Cups here, okay? And what is the King of Cups fear but the Chariot, which is so fascinating because the Chariot is the Emperor with the heart space open, right? It is the forward movement out of the past into the future. But what I get here is there's a masculine energy here that is afraid of emotional intimacy, afraid of opening up, afraid of following his heart because he's afraid of obviously being hurt, of being led down, the garden path only to be betrayed, right? That's that hit hard. That's the one. Okay, so this could be a water sign masculine, doesn't have to be. But that's the message that is coming through there with the King of Cups and the Chariot. There's also the fear of just opening up and expressing feelings, feeling feelings and expressing feelings, especially when it comes to a person, right? There's that fear of losing like emotional control. And what I mean is like there could be a fear of crying. There could be a fear of being seen as weak. There could be a fear of emotionally, like I'm hearing emotionally babbling. Like this person's afraid, like if I start to open up about my feelings, it's all going to like pour out of me. And it's not going to be reciprocated or it's going to be too much. This person wants to like try and remain emotionally in control and kind of stoic. Okay. That's the message coming through with that King of Cups energy. Again, this could be the same person. These could be, a few different people. You just take what resonates. Then we have the High Priestess with the Five of Wands. Okay. So this person, there's an energy here of fearing what they don't know, especially when it comes to their person. So like, who are you when I'm not around? Anytime you're giving attention, because if I look at all these feminine energies, for the most part, anytime the feminine's giving attention to something other than the masculine, there's kind of a bit of insecurity there, right? That's what's coming through here. So this is also showing like different conversations that can be had, the inner work, being really honest with yourself and your insecurities, facing them, having those conversations with, your person or the person you're interested in. But yeah, it's really interesting with the Five of Wands. There are, there's the Four of Wands and there's all these men like fighting. Okay. And then the feminine energy is kind of running into the fray. So this person is afraid of the competition in some respects, right? They're afraid of the competition, or they're afraid of again, it's just coming through the feminine, moving away from them and giving attention to other masculines, even if it is aligned, even if it's not necessarily romantic. Okay, there is that fear. And with the high priestess, it could also be a subconscious fear, right? It's not something that the masculine energy is fully aware of. But there's also that fear of the competition and the competition being better than them. So there's the comparison fear too coming through. So we have a fear of abandonment, fear of not being good enough, okay? Fear of opening up emotionally. But then I asked, is this really going to hold back the masculine energy? And we have the King of Wands, and that's a no. Even though there are these fears or insecurities, that's not holding back the masculine from taking aligned action. Here's the King of Wands. The King of Wands is passionate, takes aligned action. He's almost on his tippy toes. He's ready to stand up. He's ready to take action when he feels guided or when it's aligned. Because again, there are those, spirit energies around him. And he's sitting on that throne and there's a lion on that throne. So it's, it's courage that is coming through here. The strength energy that's coming through. And why? And we have the Queen of Pentacles energy here, and she's the Queen of the Wilderness. And we have the Two of Wands, which is interesting because it feels like this masculine, even though there are insecurities here, there are fears, is still going to take aligned action because this masculine knows the value, the feminine is worth it, right? Now the feminine is listening to her intuition and going where she feels guided to go, right? And so with the Two of Wands, there's that sense of needing to choose a path or make a decision. And I feel like this feminine will choose what is intuitively aligned for her. Okay. So I don't think this masculine necessarily has the security that he desires. However, again, it could be by design for him to face these fears, for him to face his fear of rejection, for him to recognize his value, for him to open up and start to feel his emotions, right? To learn how to have that relationship again with his heart space and trusting in his heart and not, again, feeling emotions or expressing emotions, right? Building trust within the feminine or the connection here, knowing that she is going to, take the aligned action that she feels guided to take in order, for her soul contract or her free will, but just her intuition. Because again, the three cards that have the intuitive energies around them is the Five of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Two of Wands. But feminine, you're sitting in that Queen of Pentacles energy. It's your value, you've established, and we started with the King of Pentacles. So some of you, this could even be someone that you are in a connection with, since we have the matches with the King and the Queen of Pentacles here. So I think this invites conversations, this invites clarity, this invites honesty and transparency and vulnerability, right? Yeah, bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Coin. Okay, and the Two of Coin, she's wrestling a snake. And it's kind of representative of conquering evil. I don't like demonizing any animals ever. But in this card, that's what this represents. And the snake's in kind of a symbol of infinity. And there's that Two of Pentacles. There's that balance. So I feel even though there are insecurities here, I feel the masculine's going to take action. That's not going to hold him back. And that's kind of going to show his true strength, is how he navigates his fears, how he kind of faces them, right? This masculine may have been abandoned before by a feminine energy, or led down the garden path, or, dealt with somebody who was not faithful. But with that King of Wands, there's just that sense of that's not going to stop him. He's motivated. Anything else? The Devil card. And there's two feminines that are cutting the chains here that are connected to this devil energy. So of course, this is about facing the ego. This is about facing the fears of what's holding you back from what you truly desire. You know, you could apply this. It doesn't even have to be love or romance. This could be a dream that a masculine has. But there's the fear of it not working out, the fear of it, you know, not being good enough, the fear of making the wrong decision, the fear of all the competition that's out there. You could apply this template many different ways, right? But it's about facing those fears and taking that aligned action and receiving the reward, you know, from that, or at least the clarity. Yeah, the clarity, the Sun card. Or for some of you, like the career opportunity, we have the Eight of Pentacles. See, you don't know if you don't try. And the other thing here is, you know, integrate the wisdom from the past, but don't let it hold you back. Heal those wounds, right? Live your life and learn to trust yourself again. This is really a message for a masculine energy here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. I don't know that we really need to do an extended. I think I'm just going to leave this as is, because I think this is, you know, could be about love. It could be about a dream, something that you want to pursue masculine. Could be certain habits, you know, that you need to face, but you have the strength to do it. You have the wisdom to do it, right? This is part of your evolution into your Emperor energy, into your sacred masculine energy, into your spiritual maturity, right? I don't think it can really be avoided, right? It's like, you got to put in the work. You put in the work, you put in the time, you get to know yourself, right? You overcome these fears, and then you can have that reward. That confidence, right? And be proud of who you are and what you have accomplished. Realizing you didn't let fear hold you back, right? Oh, yeah. From your dream. Again, we have the Emperor now showing up with the Knight of Cups. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope this brought you value. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Thank you so much. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.